Good afternoon, this is Dr. Cheek. We're now going into Module 3, so I thought I would do a little short video explaining my expectations. Please understand, now we're in the application stage. You've read everything, hopefully you've comprehended it, and now you'll be applying it. Everything you do right now should be from a strategic standpoint, that you're strategically planning your site. I want to be able to see that all the material you've read, all of our discussions, whether videos or my comments back, that you've understood these and now you're starting to apply them on your site. By the way, now at this stage, you know more about your site than I know about your site. So that if I question your niche or if I question your sub-niche, justify what you're doing and away we'll go, because you should know your site much better now than I do. Okay, so let's talk about Module 3 and some of the things that I'm looking for. Once again, we're looking for continuous improvement. Everything should be getting better. Chances are the domain name that you started with, your niche that you started with, and the sub-niches has probably changed a couple of times. Hopefully by now you've narrowed it down. You know exactly what your niche is. You understand the domain name, about, niche, sub-niche, your logo, everything feeds off of each other. So anytime a reader comes to your site and they glance at your domain name, glance at your logo, glance at your niches, they know what you're doing. Now on the logos, a couple of people asked me a question about creating logos. You can certainly use a picture, but text at this point is fine, because I want to know that you understand that it's got to be your passion. The secondary, it's got to be a narrow niche, exactly what you're doing in that passion. So now we look at the blogs. When I look at the blogs that you'll be putting up now are articles. The titles, the keywords, the metadata would be your first 2 or 3 sentences of your paper, of your blog. Because if I search for you on Google, the title of your article is going to show up. Also is going to show up is your domain name / with the title of the article. And then the last thing will be the metadata, the first 160 characters or so. And when you go into WordPress, it'll show you how you can adjust that metadata. But the key thing here is I want you to understand that whatever you do has got to be of value to your readers. I want it to have that wow factor. Have you ever read an article and you go, wow, this is exactly what I'm looking for? That's what I want your readers to do. It's not about you. It's about them. I want the wow factor. Have you ever gone someplace and there's something exactly what you need? You reach for your wallet to get the credit card to buy it because this is exactly what you want. It's $9.99. I don't want to go someplace else and see if I can buy it for $7.99. This is it. I found it. I'm going to buy it. Every single article you do should have that wow factor. It should blow your reader away. That's what you should be doing. Now, the consistency across media, domain name, about, niche, sub-niche, within your article or blogs, titles, keywords, metadata, value to readers, wow factor, topic sentences, all of these things are focused on your niche. They all have to be consistent across media, regardless of which one you're using. Now, the deliverables, we're looking for the blog, the title. Make sure you use keyword phrases in the title. Links back to your niche. Metadata, the keyword phrases. I'm going to look in the first 2 or 3 sentences of your article and see if I don't want it to look like you repeated it over and over and over, because Google will ignore it. But I want to see in the first couple of sentences, Google something and look at it, and you'll see the highlighted keywords. And I want a bunch of those keyword phrases. Also in the body of your text, it should be around 250 to 300 words. It should include keyword phrases. You can take a photo off the net. You can create a photo. But remember, when you name this photo and you give information about this photo, once again, the keyword phrases that you're using in the article that your whole site is all about have got to be included. Same with video. I expect you have at least 3 links in your article. These 3 links, for example, let's suppose we're doing horse bridles for our quarter horses, that it would show 3 different bridles and talk about the pros and cons of each one and link you to where you could buy those to that specific bridle. You're not making recommendations, you're discussing them. That's all you're really doing. Now remember, all the focus, everything is focused on the same niche. And that's what consistency across, whether it's photos, videos, domain names, titles, keyword, phrases, everything's got to be focused on your niche. Now, when we talk about content, we're talking about your blog or your article. What you put in there, the power of content, this is what's going to bring readers to you. This is what's going to make them come back. Earlier, we discussed the wow factor. You've got to have the wow factor. When someone reads it, they go, wow. They want to reach for their wallet to buy that $9.99, that $12.99, that $4, whatever it is, because this is you've answered their questions. You've solved their problem. I want you to look at it. When you think about the article, if you were the readers, is this something you would want to share with your closest friends that share the same fashion? Does this article make you want to come back? Because the best thing to say, this is part 1 of a 3-part article. If you blow them away on the first one, they're coming back. Now, here's the thing that I want you to make sure you do in these articles. It's not about you, it's about the reader. So anytime that you say, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, understand the focus is on you. The focus of this content has got to be on the reader. You're solving their problems, answering their questions. It's about them. It's not about you. Try to use we, not I. Total focus on the reader. Now, when we talk about reader focus, we're talking about what are their problems and questions. How can you solve these problems and questions for them? And when you look at that article and you finish that article, it's only going to be 250 to 300 words. Because if it's 2,000 words, chances are they're not going to read it. Does it have the wow factor? Does it provide value to the reader? Is it something they would share? Is it something they would reach in their pockets for their wallets? If it doesn't do all those things, you need to revisit it. How many times have you gone to a site, you read it, and you said, I wasted my time? You only get one chance to make a first impression. So your focus should be solve the problems and answer questions for your readers. Also, offer alternatives. Never, ever do you recommend one product over another product. If you do, chances are the reader's going to think you have a vested interest in that product, and we don't ever want to do it. So only products and services that you've carefully researched, that you truly trust, that you know will help solve the problems and offers true value to your reader. Now remember, you're not doing this site for fun. This is a business. Your time is valuable. What we're going to do in the performance for Module 4 is we're going to put in $50 an hour for your time. So when we do the pivot or persevere, part of it's going to say, I've spent all this time and I'm not making any money. Well, what we need to do, we have to put a dollar amount with your time and figure out if you're spending the time and it's not working, let's forget about it. So when you write an article, if you're not solving their problems and sending them to an affiliate where they can buy a product that solves their problem, you don't have any chance of making a buck. You're doing this as a business. It's always got to be for you to make the buck. If it's not, don't do it. Why waste your time doing it if you can't make something off of it? Online versus bricks and mortar. So far, we've talked about online businesses. It's getting time to flip over to the bricks and mortars. Think about your current business. Think about the company you work for. If you were going to try a new product, why would your company hesitate trying that new product? First of all, there's limited budgets. There's only so much money to go around. Go ask it for more money, and the boss might tell you it's not in the budget. Well, here's a way that you can test the market for your new products or services with just minimum cost. Remember, go back and look back at your minimum viable product. Try it. You've got the built-in customer base. You've got a customer base that you can push it out to. Ask for the comments on it. Get it back. Decide if you want to pivot or you want to persevere. Your goal should be exposure, test the market, use limited resources. All these things can be accomplished with a true bricks and mortar, not just with online content.